Full-size German limousines are already considered rarefied air for most Australians, let alone one with a V12 engine and a $574,000 price tag. But those are the headline figures for the new Mercedes-Maybach S680 limousine. This is truly the top of the tree for the three-pointed star, so let's see what it's all about. The Maybach limousine tops a sizable new luxury portfolio from Mercedes-Benz in Australia, joining the Maybach GLS 600 SUV as well as a recently refreshed S-Class lineup, available in V6 and V8 variants. Larger and more powerful than regular S-Class siblings, the V12 powered Maybach gets more standard equipment and the kind of finish and craftsmanship you'd expect for its huge outlay. Personalisation is the name of the game with the Mercedes-Maybach. So when you look at the vehicle on a configurator, you're really just starting the process with a blank canvas. You can go to town with paintwork, all these different options to really tailor the vehicle to yourself. And when you do hit go, it's about a 12-month process to ordering the vehicle for it to land at the showroom, and there's consultation with Mercedes-Benz in Germany throughout the entire process. For many, this is the real defining feature of this car. A V12 engine is a rare sight in production terms nowadays, but this one is a pretty good example of it. 463 kilowatts, 900 Newton meters, and potentially even better than that, a solitary technician hand builds the engine from start to finish. The V12 engine delivers drive to all four wheels via a 9-speed automatic transmission. Unlike the smaller S580L V8, it forgoes any hybridisation in this form. Elsewhere, the Maybach features Airmatic adaptive suspension and rear axle steering, which considerably shrinks its turning circle. Now, aside from the little luxury touches over and above the regular S-Class, the biggest differentiating factor with the Maybach is its size. Now remember, it measures a whole 180 millimeters longer than a regular long wheelbase S-Class. So inside, you're getting acres of interior space and unsurprisingly, no shortage on details. High-pile floor mats, exclusive Napa Designo leather trim, and an intricate seatbelt feeder are just some of the standalone elements of the Maybach, combining with excellent storage and outright passenger amenity, just as you'd expect. There is absolutely nothing wrong with the technology in the regular S580L S-Class. So unsurprisingly, Mercedes-Benz have stuck to what they knew. They've got the same 12.8-inch center display and a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster. It all works really well. Just comes down really to the 1% touches. The windscreen wipers in this car, they use heated water, and instead of having the jets on the bonnet, they're actually integrated into the windscreen wiper itself. There's the same different MBUX infotainment system that is really intuitive with commands like the S-Class, but it's again the little 1% touches. This car also has Burmeister 31 speaker 4D sound system. That sounds like a lot, but the translation is 31 speakers and things that are integrated into your seat, which sort of vibrate as well. So I have to say, hands down, it is the best sound system I've ever heard. From the rear seat, this really is like the equivalent of a first-class seat on a plane. Everything is automated, even the door closing. To all the cubbies, you're able to open them automatically as well. In short, it's a really smooth, really seamless experience. If you want, you're able to recline right back and spend as much time in the back as you'd really want. There's no shortage of different features. I'd be here all day if I was to rattle off every single one, but in short, there's about 5 different types of massages. There's a calf massage as well. And it's a place that really has sort of thought of everything, even down to the temperature and the brightness of the lighting. You're able to tailor it to the kind of mood that you're in. There are lots of vehicles that claim to really pamper you, but few really go to the full extent like the Maybach. So then, it's opulent, cosseting, and damn comfortable. But that's just one side of the Maybach equation. So you might rightly imagine the Mercedes-Maybach to be primarily focused on its passengers, and it does that very well, but equally, it is a really enjoyable driver's car. Big V12 engine, but also a vehicle that showcases everything that is possible technologically from a new vehicle. So adaptive suspension that reads the road ahead and primes the dampers for big impacts. A rear wheel steering system which shortens the turning circle by about 2 meters to about the same size as an A-Class hatch. It all conspires to a really comfortable, supremely quiet driving experience. And really, you're getting what you pay for to a degree in terms of just the pure bliss inside the cabin. I'm rolling now at 50 kilometers an hour, and this car just lopes along. There's no thudding, there's no big crashing moments through the cabin, and equally, big undulations are just soaked up by the suspension. It's even more extraordinary when you consider the weight of this car, about 2.5 tons. It's certainly no mean feat from an engineering perspective. The burly V12 engine buys into the luxury experience, offering a rich, docile torque curve and using its 60-degree V-angle for excellent refinement. Also impressive was the on-test fuel consumption, comfortably matching the claim. The V12 engine, I have to say, it is still a real centerpiece for this car. I think when the Maybach eventually goes electric, which is coming, it's inevitable, it's going to be a really nice transition because this V12 engine is about as close as you get to an electric car in terms of its outright seamlessness and rich torque curve. So this is a great example. I've just pulled away from an intersection and there's no hesitation, there's no pause or delay or anything else. The car just pulls away and it's almost as if you're in one gear the entire time. Whereas the regular garden variety S580L will occasionally shunt when you apply the accelerator, there's no such kind of hesitation in the V12 powered Maybach. It is smooth, seamless passage as soon as you put your foot down. From a dynamic standpoint, I spoke before about the control of a suspension in terms of comfort. Through a bend, I've thrown this through a couple of country corners, mixed surfaces, varying speed limits, pockmarked roads, all the things that ordinarily can make cornering more difficult. And this thing does everything you want it to. Telegraphs all its movements really well. The all-wheel drive grip is really good as well. And the weighting of all the key controls, though they are geared primarily towards being light and user-friendly, they also provide adequate feedback. And I feel like that's a really fine balancing act with this car. You want it to isolate you from what's happening underneath, but you also want to feel what's happening as well. So it does that perfectly. The Maybach certainly takes you to new territory where ride comfort is concerned. In fact, it almost makes the smaller S580L feel busy by comparison. The tuning parameters of its expansive safety suite are second to none, and likewise, the Maybach offers competitive after-sales provisions for such a luxury-focused vehicle. For Mercedes-Benz, the garden variety S-Class has long been considered the pinnacle of safety and technology, so it stands to reason that the Mercedes-Maybach really does take the cake in terms of luxury. The tangible elements, the intangible elements, they all add up to create what I feel is like the ultimate luxury experience. And believe it or not, I really do think it goes a long way in justifying the additional spend.